Hello everybody out there in YouTube land, and welcome to DC Fans United. So today, I am continuing my series of reviews by taking a look back at Countdown number 40. Countdown, known as Countdown to Final Crisis for its last 24 issues, was a comic book limited series published by DC Comics. It debuted on May 9th, 2007. Since this is a countdown, the story order for the numbering is backwards. So you start with issue 51 and read down to issue number 1, which is what I've been doing. So issue number 40 is written by Paul Dini and Tony Bedard. The pencils are by Manuel Garcia, the inks are by Mark McKinney, and the colors are by Thomas Chu. The letters are by Ken Lopez. The cover is by Terry and Rachel Dodson with Moose Bauman. So starting off, the cover is pretty good. I like it. This exact scene happens in the comics, so that's always good. It's a good cover. One thing I don't really like about it, though, is a lot of things are overlapping each other. So you see the four main characters in the middle there, and that's really good. They're all centered in the middle, and I like that. But there's all these like arrowheads and arms and legs from the guys they're fighting around them. I maybe would have dialed that back, made it so that, you know, you can see more of the main characters. But that's just a personal opinion, and I really do like Terry and Rachel Dodson as artists. I think they're really good, particularly on Wonder Woman. I like their run on Wonder Woman. So since this is a countdown and the story is really linear, be sure to either read the previous issues or watch my previous videos, and I'll have links to the last issue in the description box. So starting off on the first page, we pick up basically with what the cover was showing. But in the last issue, Donna Troy, the new Atom, Red Hood, and one of the monitors went inside the Nano-Verse, and they encountered these guys here, these little guys. And right away they are attacked by them, so you see that on this full splash page. And I think it's pretty good. You see there, three of them are fighting in battle, and the monitor is just standing back there. And the heroes have decided to call him Bob, since there's like 51 monitors now, or 52 maybe, instead of just one, but they're all just called the Monitor. So since they have to hang out with this one, they decided to name him Bob, which I thought was really funny. So we go to the next page and we see we're in Metropolis. So this character is Jimmy Olsen, and now he's out fighting crime with his superpowers, and he goes by the name Mr. Action. And there's actually this really funny part right here where the guy he rescues says, "You see, he saved my life. Oh, one more thing, he called himself Mr. Action." And Lois Lane was interviewing him, and she says, "So it's true, all the good names are taken." So I thought that was kind of funny, because I was roasting him a bit too. I thought Mr. Action was a terrible name. So on the next page, we catch up with Mary Marvel, and she is a very central part of this whole countdown to Final Crisis and Final Crisis itself. So whenever I see a page that says Mary Marvel, my interest kind of picks up. So anyways, she's on this cruise ship, and Zatana is there performing, and basically she's just watching the performance. So it's some foreshadowing that she's going to talk to Zatana. And we go to the next page, and we're back at the Athenian Women's Shelter, where the new Catwoman and Harley Quinn have been hanging out. And there's this little interesting bit here where a woman asks for shelter, but she has a little boy, and they turn her away. So Catwoman's like, "What's the deal with that? You know, I thought we helped women," and basically they don't help males is their deal, because it's complicated. There's this whole other event going on called Amazon's Attack, and they're part of the front organization for basically evil Amazons, to put it in a really simplistic way. So we go to the next page, and this is a really awesome full splash page. We see Apocalypse. There's an army of parademons marching and flying by, and Darkseid's looking at him, inspecting his troops, and we get this really dark page. I like how it's drawn, by the way. I think it looks really cool, but it's pretty dark. I'll just show the panels here, but basically it's Darkseid just being evil. He fries this woman who's his concubine, apparently, because he doesn't like what she says. So, yeah, Darkseid's bad dude. And we go to the next page, and this was really interesting. This character who's sneaking around is Forager, you know, from New Genesis, but it's the new Forager, apparently. There was a second one, so it's a female Forager, and they don't say what her name is in this, so I'm not sure what her name is. And I looked it up too, and they didn't say what her name is. They just are like, the second Forager is a female. So in any case, that's her deal. It's pretty interesting. She's investigating the death of Light Ray, which we saw in a previous issue a ways back. So we go to the next page, and they're still fighting those guys in the Nano-Verse, and they're obviously winning because they're all good superheroes. And the Monitor guy still isn't helping. So finally they take control, and they ask him where Ray Palmer is, and they're gonna take him there, I think, or at least tell him about it, because I think he left, but he was there. So that's what they're all doing too, is they're trying to find Ray Palmer. So we go to the next page, and I like these scenes here. I thought they were really good. We're at the Iceberg Lounge, which is owned by Penguin, and I really like how he's drawn here. I mean, they kind of over-exaggerate his nose, but come on, that's funny. And he's the Penguin, so his character. And I like this panel too. He's like, "Wah?" It's the classic Penguin noise. But anyways, it's the Trickster and the Piper, and they're on the run, and they're asking him for shelter, and they eventually convince him, and he agrees to hide them in his wine cellar. And then it turns out Oracle has a secret spy camera down there, so she alerts the Question. And this is the new Question. It's the female Question. So the Question's on their trail now. Alright, and so we've got the history of the multiverse. We're up to chapter 10. These are super helpful and really informative. And if you happen to get a chance to check these comics out, it's really worth your time to read them. They fill in a lot, and I think they're really cool, and they talk about different parts of the multiverse. So this particular page here talks about Red Sun, Superman. It talks about the Red Rain universe and Gotham by Gaslight and all that good stuff. And they recap a little bit with Duella Dent, which is what happened in the very first issue of this comic. Alright, and then we get a bunch of alternate versions of Superman at the end. Thought it was a good issue. It was really interesting. It had some action, and it filled in a lot of information. I'll definitely keep reviewing this series as we count it down. And that's all for now. If you aren't subscribed, please subscribe. And as always, thank you for watching.
End of line.